That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. That's not a concern here.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Stop talking about all those specific ethnicities that you hate, Richard.
Oh God, what the fuck?
Insert specific ethnicity group here.
Oh Jesus.
R-
The lads are, of course,
Racial.
epitaph.
Uh,
Insert racial epitaph. The lads
Hey,
are, of course, joking about. I
yes.
made a comment about hateful speech, and before we go live, and that is not anything we do online or offline.
No.
yeah, but your hot tub girl's no longer on Twitch. What are you gonna do with yourself?
What happened?
What?
We have a chance.
She signed a deal with Kick, like a whole bunch of money.
Okay, there's one of our 4 platforms. Why didn't you come up with that, Cesar? That could have been one of the 4 we pay for.
Have you seen Kick's chat room areas? It's
Is
full
it-
of hate speech. So yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty bad.
wow. It's not moderated by anything.
It's not moderated by shit.
Joining
So
us
if you want
live
to go
from
and you want to go enjoy that platform, you may.
joining us live from Kick, Renee. Thank you, friend of the show, Renee. Renee has been kicked.
Yeah, I told Renee when he came back in town. I was like, you were screaming for his name last time.
Renee. He didn't join us the whole show.
He's like, where were you?
Renee, if you're not watching the show with us, our attendance is quartered. At least. We need you. We need your feedback. We need you in the chat. Talking trash about trucking simulators. Hoping for a new 18-wheeler in tomorrow's Nintendo Direct.
Nah, butt ass early in the morning. Well done, Nintendo.
It is early. It's like 10 o'clock, right? I was doing the time zone thing
Yeah.
on my fingers.
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10.
No, we're in the worst time zone because if it was in Japan, it would have been 8 p.m. and I would have been well rested.
And we could have streamed it. We could have streamed it.
They get it at 8 p.m. We got to get it fucking 10 a.m.
Holy shit, I felt that.
Temper your expectations, lads.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah.
It's not the Super Mario RPG remake?
I mean, it should,
ju-
it should be interesting because it's not a mini. Everybody was saying it was going to be a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Mini. It's a full-on Direct, so.
Expect disappointment and be pleasantly surprised for what you get.
It's the Microsoft motto.
That game was called 18-wheeler, right? When I searched for
It is 18-wheeler, yeah.
it was an arcade game, right? I played it at AMC.
It was from made by Sega, yeah.
And then there's also Big Mother Truckers. 18-wheeler
also a
is
thing
an
that
arcade
exists.
game developed by Sega AM2. I don't think I
Yeah.
knew that. I didn't know it was an AM2 game. No wonder it was fun. I thought it was just a crazy
Yeah.
game I played.
We could be streaming it right now on PS2.
Oh my
man.
god, I'll play some
We're doing
18-wheeler.
this shit.
All right, what do you have a copy of 18-wheeler on, Cesar? I know I have it for Dreamcast.
PS2?
Yeah, the PS2.
I got it on PS2, yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. How's the
And then
PS2 one?
Renee's just driving an 18-wheeler. Yeah, it's
Is it a CD-ROM?
it's all right. I gotta find it and look. I don't think so. I think it's I don't think it's a CD-ROM. I think it's like right before the.
Cesar, I don't have it for PS2. I go from 007 Everything or Nothing to 24 the game to Ace Combat 4. I don't have.
I do have 24 the game as well. That was made by Sony
Yep.
Studio. Yeah,
It's supposed to be like a sleeper hit kind of thing.
yeah. I think it was a Studio Liverpool. I can't remember what it was. Some weird.
That's the Black Monday people, right? The Getaway.
Yeah.
Would I have put it under E for 18? I wouldn't have done that.
It's unfortunate. It's only $12.95, man.
Oh, I don't have it. Do I have it for Dreamcast?
It is. It looks like DVD.
A DVD for PS2 from Sega. That's interesting.
It looks like it. I don't know. There's one here with a Blockbuster sticker. Can't tell anymore. It's $5.95 with the Blockbuster sticker.
All right, 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker. I have it for Dreamcast. We're good.
Nope, it's CD-ROM. It's
a CD-ROM on PS2?
Yeah.
Let's stream 18-wheeler. It didn't come to the Dreamcast 2, the Xbox. I've got the
No,
Wikipedia
I
article
think-
up. What am I doing? GameCube. There's a GameCube copy.
Yeah. Remember that time where Sega was putting all the new shit on Xbox, and they're like, you can have our sloppy seconds on the older consoles.
Yeah, because they turned. It was like straight Dreamcast 2 on the XBOX. Oh man, that was pretty good. 18-wheeler. Who would have thought?
Yeah, thanks, Renee. It supports Logitech GT Force USB wheel, and the Driving Force USB will be the rival trucker on each stage to participate in a parking challenge bonus game. Top scores for each mode can be saved to memory card. Viv.
On PS2?
Yeah.
What do you do? Upload your memory card score somewhere?
I guess we gotta trade it into Goodwill and find another Goodwill that has it on the memory card.
Yeah. Take a Polaroid and mail it in for this high score contest.
So we can win the $1 million for Avid Rising.
Oh God, we were both working retail when they came out, weren't we?
Yeah.
The contest. Oh, Brand, I got these up. You ready, man? The first port was released on Dreamcast, released by Sega's Faithful.
You keep reading about 18-wheeler for Dreamcast.
I just want to go back and play 18-wheeler. The game was re-released by Acclaim Entertainment, who also released Sega's Ferrari F355 Challenge. I heard that's good too. On the Dreamcast, on the PS2, and GameCube after Sega stopped making consoles and became a software-based company. Thank you, Wikipedia. Well, see also Big Mother Truckers, 18 Wheels of Steel, American Truck Simulator, and last but not least, Crazy Taxi. I guess it shares.
Crazy Taxi.
Oh man, Ryan Davis reviewed 18-wheeler American Pro Trucker for GameSpot. February 02. Brad Shoemaker reviewed it for GameSpot as well. The Dreamcast one. Oh man. Oh, these are some names. Anybody else I recognize? I don't know those Edge people. Oh, they credit the Game Informer article to FuncoLand. Was that originally a FuncoLand joint instead of GameStop?
I don't know, man. I was like in high school that time. I don't remember any of that shit anymore.
25 years ago. Your Nintendo dude reviewed it for IGN. The one that went and joined up Apple.
Damn it. Fucking A.
Matt Casamasina.
I keep reading the guy's thing.
Yeah, he disappeared at Apple. All right. What number is this? 261, finally. At least I have to post it tonight, so everything will be relevant as of tonight. And then we'll have the Nintendo Direct news tomorrow. I mean, it won't make it out of date, but I need to... Everybody get a go live thing?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sitting in all the channels on multiple...
7 minutes ago, I'm the one who's not.
Shows you drinking a Miller Lite, you place the Miller Lite down, and then you just ask if we got the go live notification.
Oh, did I drink it? Just picked it
I
up.
hope that play-by-play worked.
It did. Can't confirm that's us. Brant's drinking a Miller Lite too, I saw him.
Yep. None of this is pre-recorded.
Cecil's drinking a McDonald's Miller Lite. Don't allow.
Yeah, I don't drink on a work day.
On tap?
No, I just don't drink on a work day.
There's no reason to call anyone out on any sort of evening.
Hey man, you do
evening consumption.
This is my personal. Yeah. If you want to go to work drunk,
I'm not. Why would I do such a thing? I've never done that before. Sir, I've never done that before.
You do you, man. You do you.
Sir, he's never done that ever in his whole career.
Officer, I've never done that before. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 261 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. Tonight, lots of news. It's been a little over a week. We added some extra stories for your listening pleasure. Pleasuring us first, Embracer Group is restructuring. Next up, Kojima wants to go to space? Question mark. What sense does that make? Well, it's a good thing he didn't want to go see the Titanic, right?
Oh my god.
Speaking of untimely trip news.
Freaking terrifying.
Did they find them? Is there an update to that?
Nope.
Last I looked, they were still unaccounted for. Microsoft sunsets the X-Bone, Brant's clan name in Call of Duty, to be changed, to be announced.
Use X Series X.
When the next one comes out. Then when the next box comes out, he'll update it to that.
Yeah.
Coming to Nintendo Switch Online Plus. There's some new titles. And we also have this month's PlayStation Extra and Premium games, your mid-month update, and your mid-month Game Pass games. I'm one of your hosts, not aboard a submarine, safe at home, in an office chair, Richard Bergman. Joined tonight by, what is your favorite off-land vessel, Brant McKee, Newsmaster?
Off-land vessel. That is gotta be the Black Pearl, sir.
Okay. But we have heard of it.
Going with Black Pearl.
Even though you're cursed to be,
I
you would be cursed to be the captain of said vessel.
Yeah, I got to do this too.
Yeah. Well, without all the...
Davy
Yeah.
Jones.
One of the ship, you got to do the.
Oh, man. I mean, that third movie was kind of weak. They probably should have, if it was today's Hollywood, I feel like they would have made 2 movies out of that and kind of wrapped up some more storylines a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, they brought everybody back for that final Pirates film. So like William Turner and all of them.
I
come
did
back,
not see
so.
that.
Yeah.
I do know that was a
Yeah.
thing.
There's like 6 Pirates films, so.
I have not seen one after the third one. I did not see the Barbosa one. I did not see the one with Penelope Cruz got involved in
I saw
one.
that one. It was.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
the
a
best. I
movie.
think I think the best part of that movie was the Spanish. The Spaniards come in there like nobody can be stronger than God, and they start destroying up the couple life and everything.
Oh!
Yeah.
The
They're like, you
conquistadors
thought
took
they were trying
over.
to steal it for their king, and yeah, their king over here was like nobody can be stronger than God, and they start destroying stuff.
Did one of them have Javier Bardem? Is that the one
That's the last one that came out. Yeah, that's the one with William Turner and
where
came back in.
where
Yeah.
everybody returns? I think.
I think that's with William Turner's son, right? I think that was in that one.
Oh,
I think that was the whole basis of the film. Yeah.
did they call him Bootstrap? Was he Bootstrap something? Still laughing at the tentacle face. That our audio listeners will never get the Davy Jones. The Davy Jones.
Captain Jack Sparrow. You got to do the job.
He's asking somebody about it.
you know,
Is that what he's saying? Is that what he's saying to Will Turner?
Yeah, because remember he's like,
You have to do the whole. You have to do the whole.
volunteering for it. You got to do the job, or it's gonna be. Yeah.
I have to share a weird bit of trivia I learned.
Oh, God.
When Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp were filming that scene in Pirates 1 where they're carrying the little canoe under the water.
Yeah.
Apparently that was so disorienting for Orlando that he started just like he just didn't know where he was or what they were filming anymore, and he started speaking Elvish like he was back on the
He was
set of Lord of the Rings.
doing the Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
bit. Brant, we're getting weird feedback, and your audio does not sound as good as it normally does. Is your device that microphone, or maybe the MacBook microphone? As you check that out, I'll introduce our third co-compatriot who was not introduced, and our resident Pirates lore master apparently as well. Cesar Concepcion the
Fine, you
second.
can, not introduce me.
Cesar, do you want the?
Hello.
You know what comes with the job? Again, the tentacle face.
Mm-hmm.
Having recently ridden Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World and seen how they integrated Jack Sparrow, it's quite good. And then I forgot to tell y'all this: we're all pirate aficionados. As we come out of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, the guy who's like dressed up as him, he comes across he's crossing right in front of us. He's headed to somewhere in the attraction, and people were stopping him and taking pictures and stuff. But he was well past me. I just watched him go like flying across everybody with the Jack Sparrow walk.
The walk.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, the walk. Yeah, Keith Richards walk.
It's good. All right, Brant's back with us. Brant, I didn't hear it before we started recording. I don't know what it was. Everything's fine?
Is it better? Is it better now?
You sound kind of muted
Sounds like
a little bit, like you're...
Sounds like we're keeping you inside a box.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Poke Brant, make him say something.
For some reason, I did have an update on
All right, now it's sounding a little bit better. Yeah.
on Skype beforehand.
Skype update. For Mac. Skype for Mac.
There was
I was waiting for
There's
you
a
to
Skype update.
just keep asking us to call the cops. That's what it sounds like. They got me trapped in here. Please call somebody.
My editing computer, every time I fire that one up, it has a Skype update, and it's like, do you want to allow Microsoft to run this package? It's like, sure, let's go ahead. Because I have to use that to pull it down somehow. It's nothing with the...
Still getting power.
What's that?
I don't know. For some reason, it's not seeing it.
It doesn't see your device? Yeah. We could spot that. And then there was like some weird crackling stuff. That's what Cesar was making the face at. We were like, what the hell is happening?
It sounded very pornographic.
It was like you were taking the job, Brant. They were, you were part of the ship, part of the crew.
It was very pornographic.
Is there a
That's all I
good
can tell you. I
Pirates?
was like,
Is there a good Pirates video game? Should we be streaming a good Pirates game? Is one of those movie adaptations decent?
The easiest one would be the PS3 one that's on the PlayStation Now service or the PlayStation Plus.
There is one.
Yeah, the PS3 one's on there. You can stream
Which
it.
movie? The
Yeah.
World's End, or
At World's End. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the Lego ones are backwards compatible on 360, are they?
I don't usually think the Lego stuff is front to the line of the backwards compatibility stuff. That'd be a good thing to find out. Where can we play the most current Pirates of the Caribbean games? I know there's 2 for PSP. Last time I looked at it, there's 2 PSP titles.
We have the car racing game with Jack Sparrow on there too.
Car racing game. Was it
The Disney car racing game.
Disney Infinite? No, you're talking about the new one. The one that has the trial.
Yeah. The one that I downloaded. So I'm starting to try it, but I'm scared to start it. Y'all motherfuckers come in there like, those games are greatest, and I got to spend $39.
No,
and
we
like
get
these
2
assholes.
hours. Everybody download it. We agree on a time. We're going to get together one night, and we stream it for 2 hours, and we get our impressions of the Disney racing game off of our PlayStation Plus memberships. Oh, boy. All right, let's jump into this news. Embracer Group is restructuring. I read some of the fallout of this, I guess. It's, company restructures are never usually beneficial to the employees from things we've gathered in the video game industry. And it seems like after they bought a shit ton of studios, this was inevitable, right?
Oh, God.
So I was reading something else.
I'm reading the Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. It said the 3DS version uses Street Pass feature to activate sword fights.
Street Pass, bring back Street Pass. If they announce that tomorrow at Nintendo Direct, I'm losing my mind. If we get a Street Pass.
No, I don't need another. I can't.
What if they gave us like
I still remember
those Disney bands, the Disney Magic bands or whatever? What if they
No.
gave us those as a Street Pass thing?
I just remembered I had to stay at a hotel for work once because of a snowstorm, and like I took my 3DS with me, and I fucking got so many Street Passes on there. Like I was sitting there for days unloading. I was like, how many people were sitting in this hotel with fucking 3DSs? I'm like, holy shit! And that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Living the dream. We did it at the Zelda concert, remember? Where the NOFODcast name came from. That's probably where I completed my puzzles at, was that Zelda concert.
I'm done. No more completionist stuff.
I probably put way more time into getting those puzzles than I should have. The fun part was just knowing you passed somebody with a 3DS with the Street Pass, right? That was the cool part. But then we were farming it.
And the weird names.
No, we farmed it at the end because I was
names.
telling you, I was like, bring your 3DS so I get Street Pass. That's what it was.
They're killing Street Pass. I need all my stuff.
It's going away. All right. Embracer Group announces plans to close some studios and cancel some game projects. The restructuring will make it a, quote, more focused, self-sufficient company, its CEO says. Shares in the company nosedived by over 40% last month after the Swedish company said a major $2 billion partnership had fallen through unexpectedly and wouldn't be going ahead as planned, leading to a slashing of its earning forecast. Who pays for that? Not the people at the top, the people building the games. Now, in an open letter posted on the company's website, Group CEO Lars Wingefors, who I'm assuming is not taking any sort of financial hit, has stated that the newly announced restructuring program will be designed to make Embracer leaner, stronger, and a more focused, self-sufficient company. During the past years, Embracer invested significantly both in acquisitions and into a strategy of accelerated organic growth, Wingefors explained. Blah, blah, blah. World's leading entertainment IP program presented today will transform us. The new restructuring will result in job losses. Embracer currently engages close to 17,000 people, and while that number will be lower by the end of the year, it is too early to give an exact forecast on this, Wingefors said.
Make it easier for Microsoft to buy them later.
Oof. Microsoft embraces Embracer Group. Blah, blah,
Get all
blah.
those sweet IPs for their.
That's a
Game Pass.
shit ton of IPs under one roof. Is that the whole game? Is that the whole plan? Build the best you can, and then we'll come get you and bail you out. Yeah. Renee just randomly said The Flash. Did Renee see The Flash recently? Oh, that was 10 minutes ago.
He was also a fan of Eric Stoltz being the Marty McFly.
Oh, the timeline with the proper timeline.
Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly. Michael J. Fox is in Footloose, and Kevin Bacon's in Top Gun.
Yeah, that's what. The Flash might have screwed that one up a little bit, potentially. Explaining the company's.
It was so funny.
What's that?
So it just nonstop. They just kept referring just like Eric Stoltz in Back to the Future, and he's like, "What the hell are you talking about? Who the hell is Eric Stoltz?" He just kept saying.
Poor Eric Stoltz.
I looked him up. He's actually an actor. I'd never seen him in any movies in the 80s, but apparently he was very popular. So.
Yeah. That was a big, like, when you think of those, oh, so-and-so was replaced with this person, and it was the role of a lifetime. That was one of those type deals. Explaining the company's plans in more detail, Vingaforce said the actions will include, but not be limited to, closing or divestments of some studios and the termination or pausing of some ongoing game development projects. Concluding, Vingaforce wrote, I'm proud of what we built over the past few years, and we should acknowledge that we are heading into a solid year with many amazing releases, such as Remnant 2, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2. Did they only make 2 games? Nope. Payday 3, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2. There we go. We're back on the train. Arizona Sunshine 2, Alone in the Dark, which is not the first nor second one. Homeworld 3, and many, many others. He goes on to mention Dead Island 2 has been a success. As much as I enjoyed that first one, I guess that delay just soured me on Dead Island. I've had no interest to test out that new one.
It's pretty good.
So I hear. Embracer has been, this is not a quote, Embracer has been making a number of high-profile investments over the past few years, to the extent that at the time of writing it now runs 12 operating groups, overseeing 138 internal studios with ownership or control of around 850 IPs. Holy crap.
Yes.
I didn't realize it
right
was
into Microsoft's pocket.
That's insane. Last year, the Swedish company acquired a large part of Square Enix's Western development arm for $300 million, which includes Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal, and a catalog of IPs including Tomb Raider and Deus Ex. It followed this up with another round of acquisitions in August, including the rights to The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Oh, and Gearbox. Gearbox in 2021. Interesting. Oh, boy. All right. Be thinking about all the people in Embracer that are going to have to find new positions after the restructuring program. Next up, Hideo Kojima wants to leave Earth to make a game you can play in space. This story, just like the last one, comes from VGC, the last one by Chris Scullion, this one by Jordan Midler. Quote, so please, someone send me up to space. Speaking at the premiere of a new documentary, Connecting Worlds, the veteran game director was asked what he wants to do in the future by his friend and Summer Game Fest producer Jeff Keighley. May someone who looks at me like Jeff Keighley looks at Hideo Kojima be referred to as a friend. Axios' Steven Totillo wrote on Twitter that Kojima responded with, I want to go to outer space. I want to go to outer space and create a game you can play in space. So please, someone send me up to space.
That's a bad lyric in a song.
Oh, boy. They note his experimentation outside of the Metal Gear franchise, such as Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hand, which I guess you could say he went to the sun. They do not mention Death Stranding anywhere in this article. That is highly interesting to me. Steven Totillo was at Kotaku, right? Is that the same person I'm thinking of? Who is Axios? When did Totillo...
That's his baby. It's a newsletter he creates
okay.
For, I forgot what the name of the website is. It's run by
okay.
him.
But he essentially like self-publishes the thing he was doing for another brand at a certain point.
Yeah, it's a newsletter. It's similar to like Jason Schreier does sometimes for his publication.
Bloomberg.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Brand, are you back up and running?
I don't know how does it sound.
Even worse. It sounded better before.
Oh no,
Okay.
it's not that bad.
It sounds like you're on a walkie-talkie. Like,
I'll see y'all on a flippity.
Oh, you're gonna come back?
Start it real quick.
I wonder what happened. The Skype update broke it.
I guess so. Because I go into personal settings like via the computer and it shows it there, but for some reason it's not in Skype.
I gotcha.
But did y'all see where they were talking about apparently Guns of the Patriots was running beautifully on
And it was going to take
360?
too many
Yes.
DVDs to ship. When did that?
It was going to
when did
take
that hold
too
them
many
up?
like
DVDs.
six or more.
Oh,
Yeah.
6 or more, and that was the cutoff.
Yeah.
Damn.
Quite a lot. It was a dual
It fit
layer
on that one Blu-ray disc.
So.
Brando's, of course, referencing Metal Gear Solid 4 that is stuck on the PlayStation 3. There's no other way to play it. What, did they add it to that streaming, the PlayStation Now thing? I haven't tried on that. Sus, are you still with me?
I'm
Okay.
here.
We lost Brant. Let's make sure everybody else was good.
No, I just like the awkward silence that makes you panic.
Do I wonder if we're still connected? I'm assuming he could just hop back
Yeah.
in and we're good.
He's gonna restart the computer, man. We're good. It's gonna take him.
Yeah,
like
but
2
watch
seconds.
the NDI thing, like cut out his whole, alright, 1710. It's just something I gotta edit out. I can find it. Or do we power through the next story?
I'm looking. You got me lost on Steven Totillo's Twitter.
His
account.
Axiom thing. This has been a wormhole
Yeah,
episode.
so
We
he
keep
posted on-
wormholing into separate things.
I'm looking at it. He posted this 4 hours ago. It says lawyers in the gamer antitrust suit against Microsoft Activision deal have been arguing over Exhibit A quotation marks or Exhibit K. Why? Because it supposedly shows an Xbox exec saying that the plan around buying Activision is to put PlayStation out of business.
What? What does that even mean?
Oh, it's funny. I guess they're trying to look at some of the stuff that's been edited, but apparently that's something that was said. So
In these interviews where they're like, I probably didn't intend for that to go live anywhere.
yeah, I guess they're trying to say like, this is not. He's not saying what we are all trying to
Yeah.
say, you know. But he's saying out here we don't know what it says until the following the lower court docket showed numerous filings over Exhibit K. The plan is wanting it unsealed. Microsoft saying it was sensitive but not relevant to the rulings. The appealing briefing finally gives some hints. Microsoft hasn't replied, so apparently that's the hint is that they are trying to buy Activision to put PlayStation out of business.
It wouldn't, though. There's enough out there that it would not do that.
I doubt it, but like I said, it's just funny to me.
Exhibit K. This'll do it.
K.
Exhibits A through J were unsuccessful. Deploy Exhibit K. That doesn't hit as well as Preparation H does.
Yeah.
I do like Exhibit K. That's a decent title that Brant may or may not be here for, and I have to potentially edit out. Yeah, he's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's back. Yep, it fixed it.
Unplugged the USB, replugged it back in, and restarted the whole machine.
When in doubt, restart. He's back,
Mhm.
baby. Dozens
yes,
of
I
listeners
concur.
are
It's-
thanking
it's-
you.
The whole Microsoft Blizzard acquisition bullshit
Yeah.
continues.
I'm laughing. This thread is just full of fanboys on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny as hell. It's bad. It's like it's bad. You can't even have an honest conversation about anything. It's
They're
bad.
so dumb to read, and I'm guessing these people are younger than us. I'm assuming these are not grown adults doing
too
this.
Too much free time, boredom.
Summertime.
You'd be
Just want to
surprised.
argue with people.
I see a lot of
Middle-aged adults, man. It's weird.
middle-aged adults, kind of, I would assume around my age, maybe a little older, people, like YouTubers and influencers and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, we're finally doing this on Xbox, and we're doing better than PlayStation, or PlayStation. We're the best right now. We're the top dog. Blah, blah. I'm like, who the hell cares, man?
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting just reading it because like I guess all this stuff just posted like 4 hours ago. So I guess like this thing's gonna be over with soon.
Exhibit
So,
K.
follow the-
Exhibit
Fire
K.
I don't want to derail the whole thing, but They filed the injunction. So at this point, if
Oh, this is not a news story, by the
Judge-
way. This is Cesar finding
No.
something.
no, they filed the injunction. So within 2 weeks' time, the deal's supposed to close. So the FTC is like, all right, we're going to do an injunction to stop the deal. So if the judge comes out there and it's like, you don't have no basis to stop this deal, the deal's going through. It's done. There's nothing more that they need to do. Microsoft wins. But if the deal doesn't go through, that means Microsoft has to take it to court and fight it. So apparently somebody had posted on here saying that Microsoft is not going to go through with the deal if it gets blocked, because they're looking at another year and spending $4 billion to fight it to just win the deal. And they're like, at this point, they said they're thinking about just taking the losses and not going for it. So this is it. This bullshit's finally going to be over in like another 2 weeks.
Damn.
One way or another.
Yeah, it's done. So it's like it's going to be the murder's going to be proved, or supposedly what this guy leaked out there, Microsoft's going to walk away. So it's one of the two.
And unfortunately, if that happens, then back to Embracer Group. Just see what that happened. You have a deal fall through. Activision Blizzard is probably going to see a huge drop in their stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they don't have that funding and that purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, our dear listeners. This bullshit's going to be over with soon.
Let's hope so.
It's going to be interesting.
Is our general consensus, like, I selfishly want a couple of those titles in Game Pass, but I don't think that's, like, worth going up against the antitrust, just weird stuff that would bring under that umbrella.
I don't know. What you don't want is you don't want like a what happened with Atari. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you don't want that.
No.
So that's what you don't want. So.
Or consolidation, like you've
want-
brought up the movie studio analogy thing recently. You don't want everybody under this one roof, or like didn't Netflix buy up a bunch of studios to start building out their catalog, and it didn't quite pan out for everything, and you would have, so we might get a great game and then we'll never get the sequel to it because it fell below their prospects, but everybody loved the show, right? That's the analogy.
Get this, like, the whole reason why they stopped doing certain seasons after shows after 2 seasons. So like
the Valve, that's the Valve
out,
philosophy.
Like, it finally leaked out, like, this whole writer's strike. Apparently, the writers get more money after 2 seasons on the old deals. So they didn't want to pay the writers. So they're like, all right, if it's not super popular, they cut it after 2 seasons. So that stuff leaked out recently. So yeah, that's why they're striking for a better deal. A lot of it's streaming because they got a lot of bad deals. With
That leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Man, you get these things going and you got to cut your teeth on this. You'll be great. We'll give you a shot at this. And it's 2 awesome seasons that people enjoy. And they have some sort of corporate justification for why.
So if it's something that's very popular and it was borderline profitable, that was like semi-profitable in the black, and they were like, nope, we're going to have to end up paying more money at the end, so they just cancel it. And that's why a lot of these people were getting upset. These shows were getting canceled that were supposedly very popular, but they came back and said, well,
and award-winning. Like, they would win awards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's why the strike's happening right now, because they're trying to get a better cut on these streaming deals. So
good for the writers. Here for the writers. Not here for last generation Xbox content. This comes from Tom Ivan at VideoGamesChronicle.com. Microsoft has confirmed...
Brant's clan name. We don't forget that.
Yes, Brant's clan name. Xbone.
Microsoft's going to come after you and like, no, Brant, you must retire the clan name as well. We're retiring everything that says Xbone.
We decide when we want to Xbone you. Microsoft has confirmed it's no longer developing games for Xbox One. That's the key. Developing games for Xbox One. Because they sold... 50, 60, what was that last estimate? 70? Half-ish? Microsoft has confirmed...
close to 80.
Closer to 80. Microsoft has confirmed it's no longer developing games that will run natively on Xbox One. We've moved on to... another bad taste in my mouth is people artificially labeling video game generations. We've moved on to Gen 9, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty told Axios, referring to Xbox Series X and S. Here's another Axios quote. What's Gen 9? Is that like black and white, or is that like Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun? Are those Gen 9?
Gen 9.
Actual generations?
I lost track. I want to say that's the Sun and Moon generation.
I don't know where y'all stand on the generations thing, but people start that discourse, and I'm like, this shit makes no sense. Please just call it what it is, and we all know what its direct competitors are. If you don't, please go to Wikipedia, and it will tell you who the console.
Just say current gen.
What's that?
Like, just say current gen. Like
current gen.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
8-bit, 16-bit, 64, PS1, Saturn, PS2, Xbox, GameCube, Dreamcast, PS3, Xbox 360. These numbers are just they're so crazy to me. That doesn't mean Microsoft is leaving the last generation, number 9, of course, behind. However, while there won't be native Xbox One versions of Series X and S games like Forza, Xbox One players will be able to stream current-gen first-party titles through Xbox Cloud Gaming included with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. That's how we're going to maintain support, Booty said. Booty has been doing a round of interviews over the past week, coinciding with Sunday's Xbox Game Showcase. He also told Axios that both game players and the industry in general need to realize that most big games now have development cycles of around half a decade. They buried the lead all the way down the article. Who cares about the X-Bone? This is the big deal. But having aggressively grown its portfolio of first-party studios that we haven't seen anything from in recent years, Booty believes Xbox has, quote, turned the corner, end quote, in its efforts to deliver at least 4 first-party games every year. That is a more reasonable timetable, I think. It's not quite the Nintendo. Is that the Nintendo?
About one every major one every season.
Every quarter, yeah. That would be a great flow of content, I think, if they can.
Because Pikmin 4 is the one for summer, and Zelda was the one for spring.
Yep.
And was Advanced Wars was kind of Fire Emblem was kind of like there was a couple AA's for winter.
I think so.
Yeah, not a big AAA one, but a couple AA.
Because ones. Nintendo has 40 years of building out these franchises, right? It's not these acquisitions they're trying to get and run up this stable. You know what you're getting with one of those franchises. He also claimed that upcoming RPG Starfield will have the fewest bugs of any Bethesda games. I like how that's news.
Yeah.
The Xbox One thing was going to come. I think the half-decade development cycle and the fewest bugs of any Bethesda games are way more interesting to read.
I'm glad they just straight shit on Redfall. They're like, hey, we knew it was bug filled.
Yeah, and like, was it you last week telling us that it was unfocused, or maybe that was a Jason Schreier piece that we didn't really dive into?
Yeah,
it was unfocused. Arcane's studio got split. They didn't want to do that.
They didn't even want to. When they got bought by Microsoft, they were actually hoping that they would cancel the game, and Microsoft came in and go, "Yeah, you can cancel the PS5 version, but
we need content. It's that portfolio they're trying to build out. You know, we've got this slated for so and so."
Hey man, it's a new game on Game Pass. It's what they need people to download. That's all they care
about.
about.
That's what it was. But when there's already like not a great roadmap of content, and that's like one of the things that ends up being the tent pole, whether that should have been or not, apparently not. That, you know, the eye is looking at that, and that's the hot take, and that's the, what are they doing with Game Pass? What am I getting for my service? That's one of the things that was coming out that I was like, I'm not interested in. I don't need to re-up this at this time. Renee's friend of the show, Sly, said it wasn't even what was his quote? He said the game looked fine and stuff like that. It was just like the voice acting and all that was just totally uninteresting. Like the whole loop of going through story bits and things like that was just, you lost interest in it. Which I guess that comes down to direction and focus, you know.
I'm just glad that Matt Booty has belief in the number 9. All things number 9. Ninth gen, Mighty number 9.
Windows 9, iPhone 9.
Windows 9. Yeah.
No,
somebody needs to ask him about the 9.
We skipped 9. We went from 8 and skipped 9 and go to 10.
On Windows?
Yeah.
Or iPhones?
Mm-hmm. Windows definitely. iPhones I'm not sure.
It was both.
I didn't get into the iPhone system until iPhone X.
The one that just buzzed on my side table over here. All right, what's coming to Nintendo Switch Online next week? Is it just one game?
Yes, it is one game, but it is a big one. It is one that we saw in the little reel of Game Boy Advance games. This, of course, is for the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion. The game that will be coming... I'm trying to see...
The subtitle is The Blazing Blade.
In Japan, it was Fire Emblem: The Blazing Blade. This was the first iteration of Fire Emblem we got here in the West, just titled Fire Emblem.
Which they famously had to, like, we got Roy and Marth in Melee, and people were like, who are these characters? Because we've never gotten any of those games in that franchise.
I know it's coming out this week, but oh my gosh, this freaking article does not...
I'm trying to find you a date, too.
Yeah, I don't see it. I want to say it was like the 22nd, 23rd, or something like that.
I don't see it in this article at all. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So it's soon. It's sometime this week.
Yes, it's sometime this week.
And I imagine we'll get some sort
As
of
of
update
hearing
on that
this
service
episode.
too on the direct tomorrow.
Yeah.
Burp Loud for the
I'm
follow.
hoping-
Thanks for joining the chat. Hey dudes. What's going on? You excited about the Nintendo Direct tomorrow, Burpin' Dudes? Burp Loud for the follow. Do we have to? Is your name for you to follow us? Do we all have to burp? Is that what happens?
I can do it.
Damn. Do we pause the recording? What do we do there with Brant Belches?
No, it'll be fine.
Do we embrace ourselves for the burp?
Or that'll be paid content.
That's hidden behind the paywall. But then Burp Loud for the follow won't follow us. We're at like 45 people. We need 5 more.
Well,
I mean, I'll burp for 46 if we have to, if it comes down to that. Cesar, are you good?
It'll be Brand's voice back.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Brand's voice back, yeah.
Everybody excited to play Fire Emblem?
heck yeah.
Russell got-
I played the hell out of this
Russell got big
game
into
on
this one.
Game Boy Advance.
Yeah. Russell dove hard into... We got the 2 Advance Wars games. We got, I think, 2 Fire Emblem games. He was all into some RTS stuff on Game Boy Advance, and it was such a good console for that, having a portable RTS.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. Just the rest of this article is kind of an overview of the game. And they mentioned that there's 11 Game Boy Advance games now in the service, which is a little bit of a stretch in my opinion, because 4 of those are Super Mario Advance titles, which
Yeah.
which are kind of like...
Hey,
Not
man,
really the best versions
Hey,
of
man.
those games, but hey.
They're stats.
Yeah.
They're stats.
Yeah.
When you look at stats, they're stats.
It's true. There's content.
We didn't say unique. We just said 11 games.
Yeah, we didn't say you had to like everything on Netflix. We're just saying we're putting stuff out on Netflix for you.
Yeah.
It's going back to this, right?
Yeah.
It's games as a service, right? Is that what we're all down to? We're distilled down to...
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get rid of your Xbox One. You can still use it to stream the new stuff we're coming out with.
So before I forget, Richard, are we still hoping for the announcement in the Nintendo Direct tomorrow for the Pikmin 4 cancellation announcement?
The announcement of the cancellation announcement.
Oh please, that's gonna get an extended look. 1-2 Switch is gonna get an extended look. They finally put a trailer out for it today.
With some influencers playing it.
No.
I'm hoping that the highlight reel will be a bunch of stuff that we already seen, like Persona 3 remake will be in
No,
the highlight
Brand,
reel
sizzle
at
reel.
the end, hopefully.
No, Brand, you're real.
Konami
No, Brand,
will have the Metal Gear Solid collection in the reel.
No, Brand, your whole direct is just going to be 20 minutes of Pikmin 4 and 20 minutes of 1-2.
Probably.
Everybody switch. Yeah, that's
20
it.
minutes.
That's going to be just for you, Brand.
Says our 20
I'll be
minutes.
pleasantly surprised if we get other things.
20 minutes of what Pikmin 4 would have looked like in 20 minutes of the cancellation.
Yeah.
They interviewed the studio.
That's still my
They interviewed the studio members for 20 minutes of how they feel about.
That's still my favorite Nintendo Direct leak ever of all time that I sent to Richard. Pikmin 4 announcement of the cancellation. Oh, I still remember that. It was last year, right?
Yeah, the fake
That's
slides. The fake slides have gotten really good. I sent Russell one. I think it was Russell and Cesar. I sent Russell and Cesar one. I don't want to repeat on air that looked like a legit slide.
Oh no.
Brand, it was Mario's Blank Factory, and it was a sticky substance, but it was in the Mario font.
Oh my
It
god.
was like coming soon. It was in the whole. It was on the whole slide
Yep.
format and everything.
Okay.
wrap up this article, Nintendo has also confirmed F-Zero Maximum Velocity, Golden Sun, and Kirby and the Amazing Mirror will be added to the service at some point. So maybe we get some dates on those, or we still need 1080 on the N64 one, right? We're gonna get updates on all those services tomorrow, I believe. There will be a sizzle reel thing, or did they save that for a mini?
Hopefully.
It says games coming in 2023 is the Nintendo Direct tomorrow.
Yeah.
We will go back, and my astute observations will have aged wisely by this time tomorrow. By 12 hours from now.
We'll be talking about 20 minutes of Pikmin 4 and 20 minutes of everybody
Want to Switch.
Yeah.
Oh. It's 20 minutes of the dude and the horse head just dancing around the stage.
Just nonstop milking the cows for 20 minutes. That's all it is. Yeah.
That was the game that I saw leaked to the Mario's Blank Factory. That is it.
There you go. You're like,
oh my god. That would be a waste of their time as far as I am concerned, because one of those titles is paid off and the other one I will never pick up. And the one I'll never pick up before Cesar jumps in there is Everybody 1-2 Switch.
I'm not even joking about that. Nobody should pick
I don't
that
know.
up,
1-2 Switch is getting hard to find.
I see it in stores sometimes. I'm like,
I don't want to switch. Is it hard to find? And she just said fine. That was it. That's fine. Sure.
She knows.
Yep.
She knows. Yeah.
See, 1-2 Switch is the one that reportedly did not test well in
It's cool. I thought it was just me.
In the
frozen.
Americas.
I was just waiting.
It didn't test well in the Americas. We lost Brant temporarily.
In Atlantis.
In Atlantis. Was that underwater 1-2 Switch?
Yeah.
Let's swim.
Micronesia. We're naming random places.
In the Temple of Doom. It didn't test well in the Temple of Doom. Here, kids, play this game.
Then cover the heart. Yeah.
Cesar, if there was an Indiana Jones 1-2 Switch where you did various mini games with the controller, you would buy that, wouldn't you?
Yes, because I have to do the monkey brains.
Yep. Penitent Men Shall Pass.
Cover the heart.
Yeah.
And what was it? What was it? The life raft. Remember that life raft had to be one of them too.
When the guy in Raiders, when the guy like does all the sword stuff in the alleyway, you have to pull out the gun.
Sounds like Brant lost power. He sent a text.
Yeah, he's out. We'll talk amongst ourselves. I'll move Frozen Brant out of the way. He looks pained in his current existence. Now when he comes back, I'll see him.
Take a picture. He's ready for the experience. 20 minutes of 1-2 Switch and Pikmin each.
Cesar, part of 1-2 Switch is swimming in the catacomb, and then when you get to the Knight's Tomb, you have to like brush off the stone tablet.
Or X marks the spot.
Yep. Yeah, in the time you're. This is already a better game. Time hitting the post with the librarian stamp in the books.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Pick out the cup of a carpenter with the Joy-Con. Like, this is a way better game.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh my god, I want this game. Cover the heart. Cover the heart.
Still my favorite line in any movie series ever is "Everybody's lost but me." I still love it.
Everybody's lost but me. Oh, Brant's still frozen.
Yeah, he may not be coming back. He's a storm, so he might not even have power.
Did I tell you about I know Russell and I were playing Call of Duty one time, and the discourse around, it was a tweet that I saw, but they were talking about Marcus Brody in Raiders of the Lost Ark was like the museum curator and that sort of thing. And I think whatever Indy gives him, he's like, if this was a couple years ago, I would have gone with you. I would have been able to go get it with you. I would have been right there with you or something like that. And then they said they made him a bumbling idiot in Last Crusade, like with the whole, he speaks a dozen languages.
Does anybody speak English? Yeah. Anybody speaks English?
You know what it was? It was somebody was saying Spielberg's best cut, and it was Indy giving the whole pitch. He speaks a dozen languages. He probably has the Grail already, and then it shows him hello, and somebody offered.
He gave the diary to Marcus.
So I've never heard this bit before. Somebody gives him, they offer him water. He says, "No, fish make love in that." Have you heard that sound bit? No thanks, fish make love in that. He turns down the water. Oh man, I gotta find that clip and send it to you. I was glued to that discourse because I was like, I never thought of Marcus as an idiot. Like there was a comedic. I mean, it's a movie about Nazis and stuff. Like it was a comedic relief that he was gonna be. Move Brand back over. That it kind of dropped the serious tone for a minute, you know.
As well as Elsa.
Elsa, leave it, Elsa. That's it. That's the final boss.
I can almost touch it.
That's the final boss on 1-2 switch. Indiana Jones, you're reaching for the Grail, and you're Elsa.
Leave it.
He's like, leave it.
You've got to slap her hand away from the grill.
Give me the other hand.
Oh, this has been my favorite bit on the show in a long time. We instantly made you a licensed 1-2 switch game that's better than either of the two that have been put out.
Mate, just send all this to Bethesda. They're making the Indiana Jones game.
That's my Wolfenstein people. Machine Games is making that. Because I'm like, surely they're doing a next-gen Wolfenstein. I'll look at their studio page. Indiana Jones. Which we saw nothing of at the Xbox showcase.
Mm-hmm.
No Perfect Dark. All right, moving along. PlayStation Plus game catalog for June, plus PS5 game streaming news update for premium members. That is a long-ass list of games.
Oh, God, this is the worst part.
We're not doing the list. Some highlights include Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, A Hat in Time, Cesar loved that one.
Simpsons did it.
Far Cry 6.
Simpsons did it.
Where's the Simpsons at?
I don't know. I'm just saying Simpsons did it like Xbox already did it.
Oh my gosh. I can do the list real quick. I'll forego the subtitles.
Go ahead, Brant.
Or whatever. Far Cry 6, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Shredder's Revenge, Rogue Legacy 2, Inscription, Solace, Tacoma, Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Killing Floor, Lonely Mountain Downhill, Vampire the Masquerade, Courtesies of New York, 100 Days, Windmaking Simulator.
Holy fucking shit, are you serious?
Hat in Time.
What's up now? Holy
Gardo.
God.
What's up now?
A wine making simulator. You continue.
That's a serious thing?
I'm looking at
You have to
now.
wait 100
That's the
days?
only thing that
Do you
caught
make
my
the
eye.
wine and then you have to wait 100 days and cut your PS5 back on?
Oh my God, you have to grow the grapes. Holy shit.
Do you have to is that a 1-2 switch thing where you've got to stomp the grapes too? You got to squeeze them?
Oh
You
my
milk the
God.
grapes, isn't that how you make wine?
Renee, you got competition for your truck driving simulator, man. Holy shit.
There was Dodgeball Academy, The Wild at Heart, Redout 2.
Oh, that's like the
Thief,
Wipeout game. All right, I might try Redout too.
MX versus ATV Legends, Paw Patrol and Mighty Pups, Save Adventure Bay. My Friend Peppa Pig is a game that constantly pops up for some reason. DC.
A lot of family games.
There are.
Yeah. League of Super Pets, The Adventures of Crypto and Ace.
Who's Ace?
Ace is Batman's dog.
Batman has a dog?
Yeah, the only reason I know that was because of Batman Beyond. Other than that, I would not have known that.
His pet wasn't named Robin?
No. He got a badass black Doberman.
Named Ace.
They named it Ace.
That's great.
Ace is a cool dog.
I just think of the hardware store. Ace is the place.
Do you know what that line is?
With the helpful hardware folks.
Brant knows it.
I was trying not to.
It's good trivia. It's good trivia.
Yeah.
The Talos Principle Deluxe Edition, Elix 2, Conan Exile, and then for your classics catalog, we have Killzone Liberation that was from PSP. Your PS1 offering is Worms, as long with Herc's.
The thing you pay to get rid of, yeah.
Along with Herc's Adventures.
That's an expensive game.
Which is a very
it's
good game.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
very
very good game.
expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's
lastly,
like $5. Everybody buy it. It's worth it.
Lastly, we have Coded Soul.
What is that,
and as
Cesar?
Richard,
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
as Richard said, they're actually starting this PS5 game streaming thing. It's going to be an added bonus to the premium tier where you can stream certain PS5 games in addition to the PS3 and PS4 classics.
And that would
as well
that would
as
potentially not come to the Project Q, right? You would still need it, or you would have to be able to connect to the. Because I tried I set up remote play over the past. I'll talk about it in games played.
Mhm.
I could not stream a PS3 game through remote play previously.
It doesn't work
Right.
that way.
I was about to say, I don't think you can.
Because this is a great feature I think that they're adding. I don't want to, immediately pull the rug out from underneath it, but it's not fully featured. Especially with him, I always think about them buying Gaikai all those years ago. Like this, they kind of should be leading the way with this. And playing, like I played Shadow of the Colossus, the PS3 one on my PSP, because it worked. It was amazing.
They buy it from Phil Harrison.
Did they buy it from him, Gaikai?
Yeah,
Is that the company you went to? Or
Yeah.
Live On? Did he go to Live On?
Yeah, it says on May 17, 2010, it was announced that Phil Harrison had joined the advisory board at David Perry's cloud gaming services Gaikai.
Brand, I thought you were going to talk about Coded Soul. I thought you were leading into Cesar's bit about Coded Soul.
No,
Which-
that's a Cesar thing.
No, which was not available anywhere in the world but in Japan, which I had to pay $9.49 to download it. But
Jeez.
So we don't have this here.
it's listed on here. I'm assuming because it's part of their catalog, but it's never been translated. It came out in 2008.
This is our PlayStation
Gaia.
blog.
Yeah, it's never been translated. I think Gaia has only done 3 games, which is they did it for all 3 of them for Japan Studio. One was Jewel Summoner, which was brought out by Atlas. This was their second game, Coded Soul, which was brought out by Sony. And then Folklore. Was it Folklore? Yeah.
What was Jewel Summoner on?
Which PSP. Which we might get because it's actually published by Sony in Japan. It was just Sony didn't want to bring it out over here, and so Atlas brought it out. So those are the only 3 games they've done. It's never had an official translation because Coded Soul came out right around when everybody was hacking their PSPs and the games weren't selling as hot, and a lot of these games weren't getting translations anymore because like 2008, 2009. So it missed that window, kind of like the Ace Attorney Investigations 2, which didn't come out on DS because the DS was getting hacked and the game sales were dropping. So
Gotcha.
that was that casualty of the Pandora's battery bullshit. But that's why I was interested because I was like, oh, maybe they had official translation this whole time, but I haven't seen it released anywhere but in Hong Kong and in Japan. So I just went in the Japanese store and bought it. So
Jewel Summoner looks good too. We can trade on the PSP version.
we might actually get that one because if they brought out Blade Dancer, which was a Sony game that they didn't publish, we might get Jewel Summoner over here. So that's what I hope.
That would be cool. Did you try Blade Summoner on the Blade Dancer? I'm sorry. Did you try Blade Dancer on the service?
Yeah, it plays like a PSP RPG.
Yeah.
So.
Meant for a commute.
But I think I had a digital copy somehow, so I was like, I just downloaded it. I didn't even have to download it with my extra
Oh, Blade Dancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked. I had a digital copy of Blade Dancer, so it was like I didn't have to it didn't give me the redeem with your PS Plus subscription. Just like, oh, download. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Wario noted that if you picked Killzone Liberation as one of your free Sony Hack 2011 games, it'll show up in there.
Mine was download free.
I'm trying to remember what I picked.
I actually own
I
that
think
one.
I got Little Big Planet and something else. I honestly think I had physical copies of the games I picked digital ones of.
So I didn't get the Pursuit Force because I think I chose Little Big Planet instead because the Pursuit Force was not available for me on a download.
I got you.
And that was part of the program. Yeah.
Brent, you remember the Sony Hack?
Oh yeah.
They were down for like 45 days.
Yeah, it was a long time. All right, last but not least, stop looking at these games on eBay.
I'm looking at the Super Bowl rings inside this blog post.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can get.
Goes on to talk about the PlayStation Stars stuff, which I've kind of completely forgotten about.
I've literally only used the stars now to get like the $20 PSN gift cards. So that's already redeemed itself twice for me. So
You redeemed it for what?
I just use it for the PSN gift cards. That's it.
Oh, so it actually
Star
gives you
Service.
something besides these digital things.
Yeah. I've got two $20 PSN cards that I used to buy Diablo 4, which I only end up paying like $59 for the Ultimate Edition, so I can play it 4 days.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That was worth it. Especially finding out the disc is a CD key.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'll pick up the disc later, but I'm not paying more than $20 for it. So
There's a whole bunch of extra stuff in here past the Super Bowl ring, so check out that. There's a free play weekend. You can enter to win a PSVR 2. Sackboy, A Big Adventure is getting a speed
Brand's
run.
gonna get one.
Man, I don't.
That or go back to the Walmart up the street.
Hey man, my limits test is every time there's a PSVR 2 game announcement, I'm just gonna always text Brand. Like, Brand, it's a time for you to buy one now.
It's all of us. You don't have to text him. You can ask on the show. It's all of us.
He said I'm his list.
It's just
yeah,
Brand.
yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm out of this, I guess.
Yeah, it's just Brand.
Yes, I'm out of
It's
this.
just me.
Yeah. My ass would have already bought one back in the day. I'm over here like, nah.
So sort of keeps wanting to dip his toe in and like, let me text Brant.
I predict I will cave when Resident Evil 4 VR comes out. I will cave by then, probably.
It seems like they're just waiting for their killer app. And I want to vote with my wallet, but also don't want to buy into a platform that's sinking and not going to be supported after I pony it up.
No, and these motherfuckers didn't get the memo, man. They sold more than the VR one. I was like, God, man, everybody, no, we're on the same page. Don't buy this shit. And they would have been like, oh, we'll port everything. I'm like, and then we would have won. We're like, yeah, now everybody buy it.
Yeah. They need those Activision Blizzard deals.
It's like that shit with the Netflix. Remember when Netflix did the no sharing plan and like I think the additional password thing, like you saw their subscription skyrocketed and everybody's like, these motherfuckers didn't follow the plan.
Yep.
Like, don't spend the money, don't get these people ideas because now everybody's gonna do it. Now, everybody's gonna go through and do the exact same thing because like they made so much money.
Oh, I didn't know it did well for them. I haven't dipped back in there and seen it.
Extremely well. Yeah, very well. Yeah. Like it's enough for it. Like everybody's probably gonna start doing it now and blocking sharing.
So the cost to add on the extra profile to share is essentially the cost of the lowest tier of the regular one, right?
You save
yeah.
$2. You
So
save $2. Yeah.
Humanity's a mistake. Man, it's like
Well,
my kids.
I
If my kids would learn to cooperate and lie to both of us instead of like always narking each other, they could get by with anything. They have yet to figure out that if they just get their story straight, they'll be okay. They'll get anything past us.
Yeah.
Oh God, we suck.
Give it time. Well, I think the catch is, and Brent, you can correct me, but I think if you pay the $7.99 to add the one additional profile or the count, I think you get all the access of the original one. So like I pay that bullshit $20-something so I can get the 4K version and 4 streams. So I think you get part of that, whatever version is on that account. But you just have to pay the $8.
We used to be a borrower,
You get
so
all-
if we were borrowing again, would we have to pay the $8 on top of your thing?
Yeah, because I would end up paying $9 more a month. So, see, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, all right, I can add somebody to my account and they put in their credit card information and pay the $7.99. But that's a lot of work at that point. You're just like, fuck it, I'll just get my own. You know, like, why go through all that shit?
I gotta see what it looks like. Because we were using somebody else's for a time period. I gotta see what that actually looks like.
I mean, I'm dumb anyways because I got 2 Hulu subscriptions. I got a Japanese one and I got an American one. And it's like because they freaking wouldn't let me cross over. They're like, no, this is separate. And I'm like, I had to sit there and purchase a Japanese one separately and pay $6.99 a month for that shit. So,
Man, I don't know if Burp Loud for the Follows is still in the show with us, but I clicked on the name and it says last live 2022 years ago. I guess that's a bio.
possibly.
Okay, yeah, that's a bio.
Yeah, we got a vampire
That's
in the
pretty cool,
chat.
right? All right, who's the top? Who's it recommending me to watch? Pokemon. Who else is doing?
No more Amaranth. It's over for you on Amaranth. She's
That's
my kid, man.
crazy.
Yeah, she's bringing her hot tub streams to another
I
platform.
might play Super Mario Brothers 2. They beat it. Why am I looking at the end credits for Super Mario Brothers 2?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the All-Star. No, it's the Super Mario Advance version. They beat the freaking Super Mario Advance version. I was just dogging it out.
The one you hate.
I guess we can move. We can move on to the platform holder that doesn't believe in VR.
We're gonna move on to
Corrections. Here's your Xbox Game Pass games.
HoloLens.
Yeah, the very middle of the month here. Coming soon, we get Need for Speed Unbound.
Unbalanced.
Cloud.
Unbalanced better.
Oh, I want to play that. I
Cloud
want to play that
PC
game.
series systems via the EA Play. That comes out June 22nd. The Book Walker.
Which I thought was Cyberpunk for a second when I had to look closely.
That art style is very...
Yeah.
That font and everything, like the color of
Yep.
the font and the color of the scheme on the. I was like, I looked, I was like, damn, they're putting Cyberpunk on this bitch. I was like, look, oh, it's a Book Walker. I was like, oh, okay.
And that's console and PC also
Sure,
the 22nd.
that's not unintentional as people are
We have-
scrolling through news articles.
No. Bramble, the Mountain King, cloud console and PC.
Bramble is very good. Anybody has Game Pass still play Bramble. It's very, very good.
And that will be available June 27th. Also available 27th. Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch.
When you say the North Star.
Ugh. No. The latest Fist of the North Star we got was the boxing game for Switch.
I got a physical copy of that one. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I had to have it. I was like, this fits the North Star.
Of course you did.
I'll buy a physical copy of it.
And that is cloud console and PC. We have Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, console and PC, due June 29th. Arcade Paradise, July 3rd. Sword and Fairy, Together Forever, July 5th. There's some DLC updates. I'm just gonna kind of skip down here to the last bit to where we have leaving Game Pass June 30th. DJ Max Respect 5. That's cloud console and PC. So if you need to DJ, get that in really quick. Empire of Sin from cloud console and PC. Match Point, Tennis Champions. Oh no, Richard. Another reason not to go back to Game Pass.
What tennis champion is leaving? Adults only?
I'm
only concerned with adults only tennis.
Amori and Road 96. Those are all leaving the 30th. And those are your
mid-month
Game Pass games.
Game Pass titles?
Mid-month.
And leaving titles?
Yep.
Oh, Modern Warfare 3. Sorry, I was looking up a map name so I could figure it out. Is it on the games played? Except we lost SR.
Yeah. It is on to games played. I don't know about you. I tried to keep it kind of light since Thursday is the big game.
Yes. I guess I played that demo. I guess that'll be a big meat of my... Cesar, did you end up playing the Final Fantasy 16 demo? Did you not tell us?
I will be playing Final Fantasy 16 tomorrow.
You did not play the demo?
No. I think I fired it up and then I was like, no, I stopped and I uninstalled it.
Richard,
how far into it did you get?
After he played it, he said that you had like 2 hours into it. I'm like,
oh
really?
yeah, that thing's.
I had not looked at it.
No, I haven't played it. I sat there like 10 minutes on there, but I don't trust that thing on there because it says I put like 1 hour into Final Fantasy 6 and I put like almost 10. So
yeah, that year that we played a bunch of Apex, like every lunch period, it seems it said I played like 4 hours of Apex. Like bullshit. It made my games of the year list. I was like, I played a shit ton of Apex with you guys.
I have absolutely no idea what happens in that demo, and I will leave this room if y'all talk.
No, I'm not gonna mess that up for you. We don't do that to each other. I did play that demo. It was as good as Brent mentioned. It was not at all what I was expecting. You're safe. It's no worse than any Zelda stuff you told me. Okay. Cesar's rolling out. I guess we could discuss it then. Cesar's gonna leave us.
Yeah.
The characters were like, it's a 2 hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and it's way more into those characters than I ever expected to get in that glimpse, right? Oh, his speakers are on too. We hear over. Yeah, it's not worth it. He can still hear us. I'm not gonna go into it. Cesar's playing games. He's gonna come back to us. It was very good. Oh, we're hearing his headset is what's happening.
I think I would say he left the first time.
All right, come on,
muted it,
Cesar.
this time
We can't do it. The audio's bleeding too bad. Come on, we're not talking the game. It's very good. I happily ran out the next day, 2 days after, to plop down my copy, or plop down money for my copy at a physical retailer, which is not something I've done in quite some time. I can't mute him from here. If I do, he's like off the chat. Yeah. I'm going to try it.
Be all right.
We're going to try it and see, because I think I can unmute. I can't unmute. He's going to unmute himself. I guess if he's gone. No, because we'll be talking about the game. But, Brant, as you had alluded to, it's just... And every reaction I see, or anyone who discusses the demo, when the demo stops and the splash screen comes up with the artwork, they're like, no! And that was me. I was like, no, keep going. I wanted to keep going.
Always leave you wanting more.
So good, man. Whew. And I was telling, so friend of the show, Russell, has yet to get a PS5, right? He's like, there's nothing really. He's played Ratchet and Clank on mine and stuff like that. He's like, there's nothing that I've seen that I have to. I'm like, dude, this might be it. I tried to get him to play it. We had a long weekend, but it was always something going on with the weekend, you know? And it was never like 2.5 hours to just pull away. But man, like the fight between the Acons, that sequence that you do. All right, Cesar, we muted you because there was some weird cross bleeding, but I'm not going to discuss Final Fantasy 16, I promise you. You have to unmute yourself, I think, is how it works. Because
yeah, I put the mics right by the headset.
So we were in the headset. I was like, damn it. So Cesar's going to go in blind, so we're not going to discuss that. There is a new Call of Duty Warzone map called
to add to that,
Vandal.
Just to let you know, I took Thursday and Friday off. I bought a digital copy. It loads up at midnight, and that's how I'm starting.
You're jamming.
As soon as midnight starts, I'm not
You're
going to
jamming.
sleep, so. Yeah.
Damn.
Right at midnight, I don't have to worry about some bullshit digital copy. I mean, physical copy that will come in, which I would just leave sealed in the box. So.
It's worthy. I'll say that much. You can take my hot take after you heard Brant's hot take. It is worthy. It's different. This is like the furthest thing.
I would leave this fucking room. You get crossbeat again.
About what? It's the furthest thing from. It's the most Final Fantasy non-Final Fantasy game, right? Yeah, it's cross-bleeding. Cesar, these aren't things you don't know. Almost like 12 was. Do you remember when 12 came out? It was like, people were like, this isn't Final Fantasy. And that's now regarded as like one of the best ones.
Yeah.
This seems like...
That's every Final Fantasy.
What's that?
That's every Final Fantasy, and then everybody still hates 13 somehow.
But I feel like that one's on its redemption arc. Doesn't that feel like it's kind of turned around?
I mean, people have been asking for remasters.
Yeah.
So it's not on two consoles that they wanted on.
I saw a graphic once, and it was like the Halo chain of events. It's like this is the one we love. This one's okay. This one sucks, and they shift down. It's like we love this one. This is one we have to deal with. This one sucks, and then they shift down, and people. It's like ODST was the one everybody hated, and it's like this is the one we deal with, and then everybody loves ODST, so it's like it filters down.
Yeah, but where does 5 go after Infinite came out? Where did 5 go? 5 is the one everybody deals with now.
Yeah, essentially.
Because 5, everybody hated 5.
It's not a beloved title still. Yeah. It's not. It hasn't hit that part of the Halo chain or whatever they call it. I wish I could find that graphic. It's pretty funny.
Not the Sonic graphic.
The Sonic cycle.
Yeah. Get excited. Yeah, Sonic! Oh!
There's a new Warzone map called Vandal that is the new Resurgence map. Brant, have you played this one yet?
Something else? It was very...
have you updated your Warzone? Because this took quite a while. And okay.
Yes.
I want to make sure this doesn't continue the tradition of us trying to update the map while everybody else is trying to wait to play.
Are we playing this after this?
I'm hoping so.
I need
Maybe
to edit
one.
unless we're okay with it going
Maybe
up
one,
tomorrow.
Maybe two.
Let's go up tomorrow.
Okay, I'll do that in the morning then. That's fine.
Send it up as you watch the
Don't
Nintendo
threaten me
Direct.
with a good time. Well, I'm not waking up at 7 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning. You wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning and edit the damn podcast.
What do you mean? I'm changing nations. I'm going to
8
8 p.m. man. Fuck that shit.
Oh wait, no, I'm good. 7, 8,
God bless
9,
your
10. I gotta play the time zone game. Fingers.
I'll work a full day at work, come back, come home, enjoy Nintendo Direct, man. Fuck that shit. No, wake up 10 a.m. at work, have to go find YouTube as somebody's complaining that some device that they need for something is doing something.
You're supposed to be
so.
fixing my keyboard. Why have you been staring at this Nintendo YouTube channel for 30 minutes? It's almost over. Shut your
We're on
mouth. Sit back down.
Just here's the seats down here. With me.
Everything's
join me.
fine here. Move along. What do you mean you hate Pikmin 4 and everybody's 1-2 Switch?
Hey man, it's 40 minutes of the 2 greatest games that are coming out in the next 2 months. Let's go.
Oh, the consensus from that will be we need new hardware. We got to get a new Switch.
If you
Yeah.
need new hardware for 1-2 Switch or everybody's Switch or
No,
whatever,
they'll
it's
want
called,
to
I
throw
can't
their
even- I don't
current
even
one
know the
in the
name of it.
trash if that's all they see for 20
No.
minutes is everybody 1-2 Switch.
I'm okay with that. I want new hardware for Nintendo, man.
We all do.
Yeah.
We all do at that point.
I mean, you saw the whole thing with the Yeebs, right? From,
Yeah.
Ubisoft. Where
The quote today,
He said,
quote
like,
today was
Nintendo-
pretty damning.
yeah, I was like, he straight like kind of threw himself and Nintendo under the
Mhm.
bus. Just when the announcement like Nintendo's like, hey, just wait for the next console, man. Don't put this shit out
Yeah.
now.
Make it all, maybe they're trying to flesh out launch titles or something. Did you take it as that? Make it our premier launch game.
I mean, well, at this point, like we could. I don't want to derail, so we can play Bondle. But
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
Brant.
you know what? Yeah.
mine updated, and now I've turned everything on just to make sure it's
How
got
long is that
another
one?
How big's
update.
the
16
Oh,
gigs.
yeah,
This
okay.
might be
Oh,
okay.
fuck, do I have an update? You got me concerned over here. But now it'll be done.
What's the
unless you
estimate?
get the world's
Is
slowest
it giving you
internet.
an estimate?
It says
Just make sure you're
35
not playing
minutes,
it.
but I'm already
You don't have the
at
game like fired up, right?
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
No.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Richard. You were talking about
God, where was I? Yeah. So Brant's got to dive into it with us, literally here, pretty soon. It's like a London map, like a London. No, it takes place in the Netherlands.
Mhm.
But to me, it's like everything I knew London to be like. You've got a.
It's the European aesthetic. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
the European aesthetic. Yeah.
It's a street depot. It's like streets with shops on them and multi-tiered buildings. There's a zoo within walking distance of everything. There's a floating, what do they call it? The floating city that we always dive to and head to.
Yeah.
The floating
it's like
station.
It's like a townhomes that's sitting on water with these buoys under there.
There's a lot of waterways, Brant. There's like waterways that
Mm.
interconnect with docks and like all through the city and stuff. So there's swimming like we swim on the canal map, but it's not as direct. It's a lot more like that would be a viable way to play the game is to get what you want. And
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I said we always go in there's waterways under the church. So like we always try to go down there and find
Yep.
the Crusades tomb so we can get the parchment.
Yeah, there's
paper
stuff.
and run into
there's
the rats.
stuff underneath. Rats. Why did it have to be rats? There is stuff underground or underwater, like a bunch of chests and stuff. Like even more so than like. Remember we'd leave the canal, there'd be a chest like in a boxcar or something right there. There's chests everywhere underwater, and now
So
importantly, there are guns that shoot underwater. I got murdered chasing someone down underwater, and everyone was watching me. I was the only one left. We came in second place, and I literally set the controller down and was like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. Richard was trying to chase him so he could beat him to death. The guy just turned around and just like
Murdered me underwater. I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
the guy was.
Yeah,
the
you
guy,
haven't
the
been
guy
able to
was,
shoot
No, I didn't have a
underwater.
gun
the guy
that could
was
do
even
it.
panicking. I think most of the submachine guns will do it. You have to have a submachine gun, I think.
I had the beat on him and everything. That should have been game over. That should have been our victory. So Cesar and I started playing this as the day it came out, I think, and we had probably 4 or 5 days worth of trying to win on this thing, and it was evading us. Like our best finish was 4th. We were not doing well.
It's hard. It's hard to get gas mask.
Yes.
It's very rare to get level 5 weapons very quickly. There is no upgraded
Nope.
vests so far
I've
that
yet
I've
to see
encountered.
one. Nope.
Not that they've helped in the past.
It's
Yeah, they're What
it's
is
hard.
the fest?
It's harder to get grenades. Grenades actually work pretty well on this map because I've gotten killed by.
There's
grenades.
a lot of Brant. Do you remember my
Uh,
old house that had and Cesar described it as this, that part of the garage over the bonus room. Almost all of those big, tall 3-story buildings that we're talking about in the urban part, they'll have those eaves off of each side. And usually you can go down like through those eaves and then jump onto another rooftop and keep going along the rooftop. So there's like, you can do rooftop runs. You can do, it's not Canal because we have an association with Canal, but you can do like a waterway run. You can do the ground level underneath where the roof runs are going. This one's complex because you can get murdered from just about anywhere.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of places to hide, and it's like it really, that whole map doesn't really, we're like the way we all play, or I know Richard and I play, sometimes it's the whole go slow, hide them out, and then move out there. This map does not, if you hide too long, they're going to find you and you're going to get murdered. It pushes you to keep going and checking every angle, because it's like, it's so open, you may get pincered a lot, so if you're not careful. So
nope. The way we used to play of like land far away and then run into the circle at the last minute, you don't have enough time or resources or anything like that to knock that out. You've got to land near it and kind of stay on the outside of the circle and try to wing it. We got a win yesterday with friend of the show Renee. It was myself. Well, we won one Saturday, right? We got the monkey off our backs.
We finally won that because I think Russell and Mills
got a duos
out of all of us. And then the four of us, me, you, Russell, and Dale won one. And then you guys, I think you, Renee, and Russell won one Monday.
Yep. We got one yesterday. So I've termed it the Deadpool because I was telling Jeremy, I was like, Renee was out. He was watching me and Russell from the Deadpool. So I think that's what we've called it.
So has Jeremy played yet? Because we need Jeremy. Like when me and Renee were playing with Jeremy, we almost won 4 back to back on the.
Dang.
On it, like it was like we almost went to a stretch where we were winning almost every one. Like we kept coming in second, and like Jeremy's like, "Damn it, we should have won that one," because it was this close. I mean, has Jeremy played?
He's back and updated it, so he should be up and running pretty soon. He may join us as a fourth potentially. I would 9:30ish. I would imagine. Well, y'all got to get through games played too.
Mine's not long, so I played another Final Fantasy that has a 6 in it.
Oh, it does. I watched one of your clips. Did you tell me and Russell you were in Figaro Castle? And I was like, oh, I know what he's playing. Yeah. But the one that we won last night, it's not a train station. It's not a airport. It's like a big hub in the corner of the map.
Is it the university? Because you got the university, you had the mall, you had the police station, the fire department, you had the central station, you have City Hall.
It was so Central Station to me is because we're still learning the areas. Central Station to me is notable because that train is on fire, right? It's always on fire right there in that train depot area. But the area we were in was like an airport, like you're waiting for a terminal. It was almost like a terminal essentially. And we waited out the circle. We worked back and forth with the circle. We won firefights. We swapped plates back and forth. We were crouching. We were throwing up decoys. And then it ended up being 3 people left. It was me and Russell against one other person. They had to jump on us from above, but I had a mortar strike. So they're above me, and I hit the mortar strike on the top of the last circle. And then as I'm like healing underneath that area where they were coming down from, they jumped down and Russell laid into them, and that was it. And that was like, yes, we got one again. Renee was super excited too.
Yeah, I think that's the first time Renee played it because I told him it was difficult. I mean,
it's hard, but it's challenging, and I'm enjoying learning it.
It's rewarding when you win. It's rewarding. It's like you feel like you earned it. Because like before, when we did the island, sometimes it was bullshit. Like we were in the canal, and then we just happened in the circle, which is cool, and we laugh about it.
We had those canal runs down to a science, and I just missed the canal runs. It's like I guess it's like a road game, you know. You look forward to the path and trying to execute and that sort of thing.
I'll fly the helicopter down there.
Yes, all the deviations we made on those runs. Warzone is so good, man. That's my multiplayer game right now, and I don't see anything really shaking it. I mean, is this the one you guys play? Is this your multiplayer game? We're not playing Destiny. We drop Halo like a bad habit.
I mean, the only one that looks interesting that's just player versus player would be that DVNX or whatever that from Ubisoft, that fast-paced shooter.
I'll give that a shot.
That's the only one because it seems like it's like Call of Duty on like speed or something like that. So it's like, but I don't. It's not like a battle royale type game. It's straight just multiplayer.
Yeah.
You know. So
I know if I have free time, and that's why that's probably the majority of my games played is if I have free time, I'm gonna play with some friends. We're gonna drop into some Warzone. I'm excited about Foam Stars. There's a really good reactions.
this is really, really good. Yeah.
Those were good impressions coming out of Game Fest or whatever they had all those people out there for checking out Foam Stars. It seems to have its own merits. It's not exactly Splatoon. All right, Cesar, let's bring this home. Tell me about some Final Fantasy VI before we move on to Brant and Kingdom Hearts and Kyrie Adventures.
Brant, yeah. Kyrie Simulator. It's like he's playing the game that says Sean over and over again in Heavy Rain, but it's just with Kyrie. Kyrie! Kyrie!
Sean,
Kyrie!
Sean,
Kyrie!
Sean.
Kyrie!
Serious, son.
I actually, yeah, the one that actually counts. But
Wait, why did you pick a favorite son out of
but-
his two kids?
Because that's the only one he actually truly screams a name out for. He never screams out Sean. That was like that bug. That
John!
Sean! But that person laughing as they were recording it because they couldn't say it. It was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, I played another Final Fantasy with 6, and it was just Final Fantasy 6 on the Pixel remaster. So right now I'm in Chapter 2. So you know how that whole game starts out. You're with a brainwashed Terra going through Narsh, who is trying to find an Esper because you have was it Gestal? Is that Gestal of his empire who's trying to take over the world and is trying to rediscover magic in a way. So their whole abilities to go find the Espers that from the 1,000-year war or 1,000 years prior that had a war. Because the whole environment has moved into like the Industrial Revolution where everybody's using swords and guns and magic doesn't exist. So you end up finding this Esper who kind of interacts with Terra and kind of sets her free. So it breaks that slave device she has on her head, and she has the ability to cast magic. So you have like Locke who's trying to take her to the Returners, which is a underground resistance who's trying to go against the Empire. So along the way, you end up meeting like Edgar at Figueroa Castle, who's like a dual agent for the. He's like he's in an alliance with the Empire, but he's secretly working for the Returners, and then you go through and you meet like these other players in this game, like Saban, and I think you meet Bannon, who's the leader
Did you meet
of
the
the
wild
Returners.
kid yet? Is it Gao?
Not yet. So I think that's all.
I think it's Gao.
Huh?
I'm trying to remember.
No, Gao, not yet. So like right now what I just described is kind of like the first couple of chapters. So now I'm at the point in Chapter 2 where South Figaro has gotten taken over by the Empire, and so they split up. So Locke goes to the South Figaro to slow down the Empire. Then you have Terra is going with Edgar and Bannon to go to Narsh to see the Esper. And then you have Sabin, who was separated when they fought the octopus in the water. And so now you're at Chapter 2 where it branches off to 3 different points. I think the Sabin one is where I'm at now, and that's the longest one because that's where you meet, was it Cyan, the old distinguished gentleman? And you have to go through the army camp and all that
ninja?
to get back to him.
Shadow's
No,
the ninja.
Shadow's the ninja, and you meet him in South Figaro, but you can name him, but you can't
I haven't
interact with him.
played
He
this
doesn't
in
respond. But
20 years. I forgot how deep this game
Yeah,
was,
it's
though.
been
When
a
you're describing that
while,
story, I'm
man.
like, damn, it's so good.
So now they're all split up, and now they're all trying to meet because I'm at the chapter where Saban sits there and suplexes a train, the most infamous scene of all time. But the ghost train, which also reminds me of a ghost train from Ghostbusters, but I'm divergent. But
It's another game. It's another game,
But-
Cesar.
yeah, it's another story for another time. I don't even know what that means. So that's where I stopped at now. So I've already got Terra to Narsh, and it switched over to Locke, and Locke ended up meeting Celeste, who was a former general of the Empire who didn't agree with the way the Empire was doing things, so they branded her a traitor. And so Locke reminds Celeste of somebody, so then he ends up going along with her, and they're traveling to meet the Narsh. So you have all those interactions with these different people who have different reasons to be doing the things they're doing. So. And it goes like Richard says, it goes. You have this overarching storyline where you're trying to save the world, but then you go to these deep personal conflicts with people and like their parts of their life and these everybody's different. They all have their own story. Like they all have different aspects that have been affected. So like as you go through and find out, it's all actually pretty well done. So, but I think that's the majority of what I play. Games played outside of the Modern Warfare we did a couple times. I'm not going to go into much detail for whatever reason. I fired up Dead or Alive 5 and I've been fucking around with that, and then I fired up Dead or Alive 6 and I've been fucking around with that, and then I went back to Xbox Series X and fired up Dead or Alive 4, and I was like, because I don't understand the story of Dead or Alive 5, because I was like, how did this happen? And so and then I've been randomly playing Dead or Alive games for the last couple of days,
and they're all beautiful. Those
and they're
all
very,
good-looking games.
Even the 1, 2, and 3 on there on the Xbox. So
yeah.
I think you can play all the Dead or Alives on the Xbox. So I know they're all backwards compatible.
Dedicated Dead or Alive box.
New ones are on there, but
so
yeah,
1, 2, and 3, or 1 and 2. 1 was Saturn and eventually PS1, and 2 was PS2 and Dreamcast. And then 3 was Xbox, and then Xbox got a port of 1 and 2 with Xbox graphics.
2, yeah.
4 is 360. What are 5 and 6 on? Like, I think I lost it at that point.
5 is on PS3 and PS4. They ported over the PS4, and then 5 is the first one they did the free-to-play version, which is the last round, I think, which was their core fighters, and then you can pay to upgrade to get.
Is that what the trappings of it was pay to unlock everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then they did 6, which was strictly on PS4, and it left the previous generation before, because like 5 was on PS3 360, and then Xbox and PS4, and then 5 was on just straight PS4 and Xbox One, and they haven't done one since. So the rumors of them rebooting it after a while is what we heard. There's one on the DS, which I think takes place between
Dimensions.
4 and 5. It's actually pretty.
I
good.
love that one too. That's probably my most played Dead or Alive.
Yeah. So I think that should cover all the Dead or Alive ones if we skip the volleyball one, which was only really good on Xbox and was garbage on the PS4. But
why is Dead or Alive 6 so expensive?
I was very disappointed in the PS4 one. They didn't make that many copies, so it's not easy to find either.
It's not. It's $25, but I wasn't expecting it to be that much.
Yeah. It's not like the $5 bin stuff like you used to see with 5 on there. So it's not like it's a little bit harder to find that one. But I don't think they made that many copies, because that one also had a Core Fighters 1 too, which was free to play, and then you just pay to.
So most people probably went the digital route on that one. Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, that's it for me. I'll kick it over to Brant. And
bring us home, young Brant.
So with the big game coming out this Thursday,
the Super
I'll
Bowl.
leave this fucking room. Don't do it.
I did not.
Fucking room.
I did not want to get into anything too crazy. So no, Cesar, you're gonna want to hear this.
Just mute your headset, please, God.
No, I'm gonna put it
go
in
if you
like
wish. Just don't let us bleed. Yep, I hear myself. It's wonderful.
So I was looking for just like
now that
smaller.
I know I can do it, I'm just gonna fucking do it every
I'll
time.
mute your ass.
I was looking for like smaller games to play, and I was looking and saw that the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fighting game that came out for PS1 also got a port to Dreamcast.
Okay.
So that was the quickest way I could boot that game up.
Since you had a copy?
But I also had,
I think that's the most affordable one. It's the Dreamcast one.
It is definitely the most affordable. But then I had to plug it. I hadn't set up the Dreamcast. It's been sitting on the shelf for a year behind me. So I had to route the VGA cord, plug it in the back of the TV, turn everything on, remember how to obtain said game, and had,
by legal means. Well done,
yes,
sir.
by legal means.
Was it CDI format?
Yes, CDI.
You son of a bitch. By legal means. Continue on, sir.
And then figured out that the right speed of that version that I just put was a little bit too high, so I had to lower the right speed on my legal version.
So you said coming in hot?
Mm-hmm. But then I put it into the Dreamcast, and this this game does not support current cables. Message. So
it's
I
a
had to
non-VGA.
unplug it, route cables over to the
Yes,
boob
as
tube,
God intended.
and put it over there. Which I did some more research and found, while there are some ways to force certain games into that VGA mode, this is one of those games that, one, it doesn't support it, even though the English release over here actually had it on the CD case. It had it on the jewel case on the
Did
thing.
it?
On the label. It said like VGA compatible, but the UK release, the Europe release that they got over there, actually said that it was not VGA compatible, so it was a misprint on the US version. And it is one of the only ones that apparently cannot be forced. Does not have any.
There's no patch. I thought they patched like almost all of them. So,
as far as I looked, I could not find anything on this one. This version of the fighting game, I know it's kind of high up regarded as as one of the like peak early JoJo Bizarre Adventure fighting games.
Yeah.
It plays interestingly, and I cannot stand the it has no compatibility with the analog stick.
But Brand, it's arcade
on that
perfect.
Dreamcast.
This came out on PS1, didn't it?
Oh, yes. But it has no analog stick compatibility, so you are using that god awful D-pad.
Dreamcast
And it
D-pad is
always-
bad. I'm trying to
For
think what
fighting
I've ever.
games,
I'm trying to
when
think
you're
what I've
trying
ever
to-
used it for.
When you're trying to do, oh my god, when you're trying to do half circles and stuff on that thing, the edges just
it's that
dig
bad?
into your thumb. Yes, I do not know how you go from the Genesis
and the-
D-pad, which
and the
is
Saturn
perfection,
one.
to the Saturn one, which was
Extra
still
perfection.
so,
Yep.
so good. And then you go to the Circle Pad Pro or whatever the hell they
The
call
3DS
it.
one.
Not the Circle Pad. Yeah, the
Circle
what was
Pad
it? The,
Pro's
th-
good. I
the
like Circle Pad
3D pad or whatever. I can't even remember with that weird analog nub for the Saturn. The 3D controller.
Yeah,
I think
it was a
wasn't it just
pseudo
called, like,
Dreamcast controller essentially. Yeah.
Mhm.
The Knights
it's
controller.
the same format. Yeah. Which honestly, you look at that little weird analog nub and you're like, that looks awkward as hell. But honestly, you put it in your hand, you're like, this works. This feels good. Then you go to the Dreamcast and you've got this D-pad that jets out of the controller. It's raised and then it has these just sharp edges on it, and it is.
I need to play with
It's
one because
bad
I
for
don't remember
fighters.
it being that stark. Wow, you guys are shocking me here.
Go get one. It might be one of those that I kind of see how it plays on the PS1 and just see. I mean, the PS1's D-pad was not bad, but I mean, for some of those inputs, it's still probably not the best. It's probably going to be more
Have you thought about
comfortable than it was.
How
on
many
the
Dreamcast controllers do you have?
I think I have at least 3,
So
maybe 4.
You could potentially get one of those Retro Fighter ones and try that out and see how that feels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cesar, did you ever get one of theirs?
That's true.
Yeah.
For Dreamcast?
You never got one? When that was announced, I was like,
I got the one for the
I mean,
64, yeah.
I love
I
I was
those.
about to say you both invested in
Yeah,
the
I
64
love their 64
one. and
stuff,
then-
but the Dreamcast controller, I hate where the cord comes out the bottom of the Dreamcast controller, but I was never like, man, they need
You
to
put in
fix
the
this
little
thing.
the cord holder that rips up the
Yep.
cord every time.
I love the Dreamcast controller, but I can't remember ever really using the D-pad outside of like Shenmue menus. Everything else was that analog nub.
But me and my son got into that, and we were, fighting each other and
That's
button mashing
awesome.
and having
That's
a pretty
awesome.
good time. And that, of course, revolves around the Stardust Crusaders arc.
Of course.
And we had a lot of fun with that. and then I put in the following night. I put in the newer remake, the JoJo's All Star. Oop. Richard is showing us the Dreamcast
That's
fight
your
stick.
solution. That's what you need to get.
It might be.
Stop messing around with the controller things. They're not as expensive as I thought they'd be for as old as they are. They're like
they're not
80,
too bad.
$90 shipped from Japan.
But I put in the All Star Battles R, and we played that. I still have not. They've updated it. They've added some characters. I haven't bought a bunch of the people they've added. Have you, Cesar? I know you got this game too.
I do have the season pass, and
So you probably did get everybody then, since you got the season pass.
I did even get the new spoiler character that they just fucking put all over Twitter. That. Yeah.
Did your son watch the show with you, Brant? Okay.
Yes,
so he appreciates all the characters and everything.
Yes, he's watched the majority. He has not watched the latest season yet, so.
Stone Ocean.
How does that look on Dreamcast?
Oh god, I'm so fucking excited about Steel Ball Run.
Oh,
I can't wait till they do it.
I'm assuming that
really
translates
good. It
like
looks
almost
really, really good
perfectly
on
to
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast. Yeah.
It's arcade perfect, man.
But I really wanted to see it in VGA because VGA on my TV, plus the ability of the what happened? Anyway, plus the ability of the
Oh god, here we go. That's what we need.
the ability of
It's
the
already pays for itself. Well done, Richard. Your
the
fine is already paid for
Dreamcast.
itself.
to be an absolute arcade perfect beast.
Or the Saturn. Sega always did arcade perfect, man.
Well, considering this was like just the home version of the Naomi machine, I mean, this thing was.
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Is there a
you play-
bad-looking Dreamcast game? Is there a game that you can play on Dreamcast where you're like,
Not anything I've seen. Not anything I've seen before
"It has
that I'm just like,
aged
oh gosh, this
almost
looks terrible.
flawlessly"?
We're not gonna throw out Blue Stinger or Ale Bleed. We're not throwing those out.
Or maybe the Resident Evil ports. Yeah. But it still
Dino
looks
Crisis
crisp, and they almost all ran at 60 frames per second. I think that helps out the timelessness
Yeah.
of those. Cesar, don't knock down my dream. That was a rhetorical question.
I just have vivid memories of Blue Stinger and Ale Bleed being not.
Is Blue Stinger not? I know it was like mega hyped, and Grandia 2 coming off of Grandia was not as well received.
Grandia 2 was very good on Dreamcast. That port on PS2 was fucking hot garbage.
Which Virtua Tennis and Virtua Tennis 2, the same thing happened on PS2. It just did not translate to that hardware for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Was Crazy Taxi good across all the?
Firebrand.
How'd this end up being such a heavy Dreamcast episode?
I don't know.
I think Crazy Taxi was better
On the Cube, yep. Yeah, I think the
was on
Cube
PS2.
one is the generally regarded as the highest one.
Which good news, Richard, on the Virtua Tennis front. If you can ever get your
You had him a Virtua
Steam,
Tennis.
if you could ever get the emulation running on your Steam Deck again, apparently the Vita emulation has come up a little bit, and there's certain games, including like Virtua Tennis, that run like perfectly on the deck.
So I think I'm good. I've hosed that PS2 BIOS install somehow, which is mainly what I wanted to use for emulation was the PS2. So that's the one I got to figure out.
It's got a big library, and Sony ain't doing shit with it, so you gotta do something with it.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, somehow in not wanting to really jump into a game that's going to take up too much of my time, out of all the things, I picked up Kingdom Hearts.
We
the
heard.
PS2, and I've put
Kyrie,
I've put 14
Kingdom
hours
Hearts?
in it.
Kyrie.
Since
Which world are
Sunday.
you in?
Since
Damn
Sunday,
Steam Deck. It's
I'm-
sipping the battery, right? You
I'm,
get way more
in the-
battery out of the PS2 stuff.
Oh my gosh, I could play it all freaking day on PS2.
The emulation stuff sips that
You know,
battery.
go back to playing Brutal Legend, I get like
Yeah,
3
Wolfenstein
hours.
did that to me. I would play some old school thing, and then I'd fire up Wolfenstein or Skyrim, and I would just watch it like in real time.
Real time
What
disappointment.
world are you in, Brant? I'm trying to remember
I'm,
my longest playthrough of Kingdom Hearts.
I'm in Hollow Bastion. I'm in the really annoying Riku fight.
The Sleeping Beauty one? It's Hollow Bastion?
No.
Nightmare Before
That's
Christmas.
the one. That's one of the last worlds that you get to.
Oh, is the made up one, right?
Yeah.
That game? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right at the end then.
In
Almost
14
right.
hours?
I'm close to the end.
Yeah, he played it so much, he's a pro.
I've played this game so many damn times.
Bro, dude, that game fucking pisses me off. It's like no matter how many times I play that game, I always suffer when I go to the fucking Alice in Wonderland world. It's like I get stuck there the longest 6 hours ever.
I'm surprised.
6 hours in Wonderland.
I'm surprised.
6 hours.
I'm laying on the couch and I'm like going through these levels and I looked over at the missus. I'm like, I don't know how as a kid like I got so hung up in Tarzan and Alice in Wonderland and all this stuff because I know when I was younger I'd get stuck running around these levels trying to figure out where the hell to go, and now I'm just like, nope, here done, here done, and she's just like, you've played this game so many times though. I said,
yeah, Manchurian candidate yourself here.
Yeah, I did. So
Manchurian candidate.
I've just been going through it. I even
my go-to reference for everything.
I had it in the original aspect ratio. I can't remember what, because I messed with some of the settings. I changed it to 16:9, and I also changed the resolution. I got the resolution up a little bit, and it's like this. It's a beautiful widescreen. It looks really great on the Steam Deck.
4X anti-aliasing, the works. Careful, that's how I fucked up my install.
Yeah. Proud of you, Brand. You gave up on that Switch cloud version.
I'm just playing half speed. T just running through. He's like,
oh my god.
With the goofy feet.
But also, I just saw I saw it the other day. It's a guide on how to set up PS5 remote play on the Steam Deck as well. So.
Oh, that Chicago.
Try that out.
Yeah.
Not yet. That is something I want to go ahead and do
cool
because I will be out of town next week. Not too far away. I mean, like an hour and some away. So, but it's external training for the job. So,
external facing.
I might get that set up and see if I can
play
get
some
that
Warzone
working.
with us.
Considering, I can either play some Warzone or if I can play the big game that I cannot even say the name, or Cesar
tried to take off his headset.
Put down his headset.
There it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
There he goes. He's doing it again. I didn't even say anything.
If we don't say anything, the audio doesn't bleed.
I know your weakness now. I'll just mute you. And just walk away.
I can overcome the weakness.
The
battle of the weaknesses.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, even what's crazy is I'll be sitting there playing it on the couch, and my kid will just kind of like come up and stand behind me. He's like, "Which part are you at now? What are you gonna do next?" And then he came back. I think it was yesterday. And was playing the one for Game Boy Advance. He just sat on the couch and was playing the Chain of Memories next to me. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I'll download that PS2 version of Chain of Memories and put it on the deck and see how it looks on here. So
that one. I think that's one I'm missing somehow.
The final mix, that's the one I got.
I wanna say it's in the what is it, the 1.5?
That's right. They added all that stuff into one of the games. Yeah.
I wanna say it's in that.
Yeah, but that was the one where when they came out with the greatest hits, right? We came out with the final mix, right?
Yeah,
I don't. It was that weird shit they started doing at the
Rechain of Memories.
Yeah.
Buy it now for $15.
That
Should
one
I get
is
the $15 one?
It is in the 1.5 HD.
Which why you're not buying it now? Buy it now, bitch.
Wow, some heated peer pressure here on the NOFODcast episode. 161.
Hey,
261.
man, I just call it like I see it. Yeah.
With this bastard version of Sora.
Yeah.
What does he have, like snowshoes on?
He's still
We're more
got
looking
like
about
his
the hair,
same
the ears
boots.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's got his hair, his boots.
It's like
He's
a
got this,
Simba mixture of him.
Yeah, got a tail.
I have that one sealed. Do you think it's worth anything at this point?
So many versions of it, maybe.
Probably not.
Maybe not. Maybe. Who knows?
As I answer your question, there's so many versions of it, maybe.
Maybe not. Exactly what I was thinking, guys.
But that's all I've played.
Cool. All right, we got to get in some Warzone.
Yeah.
Hopefully I put
Where'd
my
you get to,
PS5
Brian?
in rest mode. I'll boot it back up and see where. I never got the notification on the phone here saying, "Hey,
Ready to
Warzone's
play."
Ready to play." So
Oh no.
We'll see.
Oh,
We'll see in the
no.
after show.
hopefully it's got like 2 minutes, if anything.
We're gonna have some Nintendo Direct news for you next week, and then we'll see what
Maybe.
else. Yeah.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
of Pigman 4 cancellation and 20 minutes of One, two, switch.
Everybody
Hey,
wants to
Microsoft's
switch.
giving us
Yeah.
Call of Duty on Switch. I'm assuming we're gonna hear something about that, right?
I love how also in that same article they said Valve rejected their 10-year offer.
I'm sure they did.
I was like, yeah, they're
I'm
like,
sure
nah,
they
we're
did.
good. You know you're gonna put it there anyways.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.
Adios.